What does it take to be a hero? Do you have to wear a uniform or risk your life every day? Or can the way you live make you heroic? I'm Chris Anderson, and today we're at the Virginia Living Museum in Newport News to see how we can all be heroes in our everyday lives. We'll learn some more and meet some champions ahead, so stay with us for this look at Hometown Heroes. How often do we stay and serve in the area where we grew up? Especially in a military region, people move in, move out, and move on. You know, still, some people are born and raised right here in Hampton Roads, and they decide that this is where they want to serve. One of our hometowners is pediatrician Noelle Gabriel.
I decided to become a doctor when my youngest brother was severely burned in a house fire. And he spent several months here at Children's Hospital of King's Daughters. And I was about 10 years old at the time, and that left a dramatic impression on me, the services that were provided to him in order to basically save his life. And at that moment in time, I could see myself bringing joy to another family by imparting knowledge or saving a life as they saved my brothers.
What makes Noelle unique is she remains excited about practicing every day and remains committed to the compassion of all children and giving her best every day. I think she's committed to do that journey with them so that they know that they are not alone. She sees it both from a physician's standpoint and a mother's standpoint, and I think that really enhances the care that she delivers.
Dr. Gabriel is to me, as a first-time mom, a heaven-sent pediatrician that I needed to be secure when I first had her. So she's, to me, more of like a guardian angel doctor. She's unique in so many ways. She just make it feel family-oriented when you come into the office. She's always bubbly, ready. She knows her name. Personally, she'll call, "Oh, Kamora, it's so good to see you." So it's not just like a regular patient that what's your name again? She knows them every time she's here.
Dr. Gabriel is unique to me because she's at about the same stage of life as me and my family. Her kids are about the same age as mine. And she's always very calm and friendly when interacting with the children, which I think really sets them at ease. She's just so approachable that the kids actually look forward to doctor visits a little bit. Even when they know that they've got vaccines coming up, it makes the kids more relaxed.
I feel like I am a better pediatrician because I have the experience of being a mother of 4 children. I can connect better with my patients because I can say, not only is this what the research supports, but this is what I do as a mother, and I would never recommend something to you that I wouldn't do for my own children. And that really settles families when they hear that.
She really sees us as a family unit and takes care of us in a holistic way.
She is just excited every day, happy to be here, and that's how I felt for 30 years, but she's kept it going.
I feel exceptionally blessed to have been able to accomplish all of my goals right here in Norfolk, Virginia. The fact that I could get an exceptional education at Old Dominion University through scholarship and then carry that right on to Eastern Virginia Medical School, which is very community oriented, and then right in my backyard have a freestanding children's hospital to learn about pediatrics. We are incredibly fortunate to have all 3 of these institutions right here in our backyard, and I feel like I have benefited tremendously from it, and that's why I serve here in Norfolk, because I had the opportunity to have the benefits of all of this, and I want to share that with the children and the families here in Hampton Roads, and I truly love what I do every day and feel blessed.
Dr. Gabriel is spectacular!
As we watch our children flourish, we begin to think of ways to protect their future. One of the things that we have to think about is how to preserve our natural resources and have a better place for them to live when they become adults. How do we live green? What is reducing our carbon footprint? What does that mean? I'm here with Deanna Moore to talk about ways that we can live that will make a difference for future generations. Thanks for joining me, Deanna.
Yeah, hi, how are you?
Carbon footprint. Can you explain to me what exactly that's about?
So our carbon footprint is the amount of carbon dioxide that each individual puts out during the year. And that can come from all sorts of different things in our lives.
Okay, so what is, I guess, something that average, ordinary, everyday people can do to help reduce that carbon footprint?
So one of the biggest things to do is change your transportation. You can either walk to work, you can try to use more public transportation, car sharing and things like that. I've personally tried to start walking to work a lot more often. It's 17 extra minutes in my morning, but it's a really great way to start and end your day spending some time out in nature.
Okay, and here at the Virginia Living Museum, are there any examples that people can come and see firsthand of things that they could take back to their homes and their communities to help make it a better place?
So we try to do a lot of really green things here at the Living Museum. We have solar panels that help to power our building. And then on this building behind us, the Goodson House, we actually have a green roof, which is going to help insulate the building. It's going to make it cooler in the summertime, warmer in the wintertime. It's going to provide habitat for all of those native wildlife. While doing that, it's also going to reduce your electric bills, and therefore you're going to be lowering your carbon footprint because you aren't using as much electricity to heat and cool your house.
And walking around the Goodson House, I've noticed some attachments on the back of the building. Can you explain to me what some of those are?
So we have a couple of different things. We have a rain barrel, which is really great. It catches all of the water when it rains, which can be used for things like watering your garden or washing your car. Things that you'd usually have to use a hose from your house, but you can use that rainwater. It's going to be just as effective and save a little bit on your water usage. We also have a water heater that is powered through solar, so we use the sun's energy instead of having to use energy from the local power companies.
So the Virginia Living Museum is more of an education center, not just a beautiful place for people to come and check out the gardens and the native plants of Hampton Roads.
Yeah, absolutely. We're known for our animals here. A lot of people come to us. We're the animal attraction for Hampton Roads. But we really want to give people tools and educate them on things they can do in their everyday life to make their communities and their own homes greener and more sustainable for the future.
And you mentioned the solar panels on the main building. What sort of effect have you guys seen from the solar panels?
So they produce over 58,000 kilowatt hours of power a year, which is over 6 average US homes. So that not only lowers our energy usage, but has a really big impact on our carbon footprint here at the museum.
And aside from the solar panels, what other sort of things are you guys getting into to help reduce that number?
So we've recently actually gone bagless in our museum store. We don't want to use any more single-use plastics than we have to. And our museum cafe has actually gone to paper straws and compostable plastics for cups and utensils and things like that. It's going to be better for all of the wildlife who sometimes get into those plastics, but it's also going to help lower our carbon footprint because plastics are made with petroleum.
And are there any sort of events here that you guys bring people from the public in to take part of?
Yeah, absolutely. We just had our Earth Day festivities not too long ago where we showcased a lot of really great things that the public can do to help impact their carbon footprint, hopefully lessen that a little bit. We also have our native plant sale 2 times a year, once in the spring and once in the fall.
And how does that native plant sale affect people here in the community?
So by planting native plants, you're going to do a couple of really good things. One, you're going to provide the correct type of habitat for all of our native pollinators and small mammals and birds. You're also going to help your yard by cooling your yard. They're more designed for our climate, and they're also going to use less water and therefore less energy on your part to water those plants. And they're going to provide the right type of habitat for your yard that's specifically designed for the Hampton Roads area.
So how often do these public events take place?
So we usually have them in the spring and fall, typically April and September, so that you're at that prime planting time for spring into summer or into those fall plants.
Thank you so much for your time, Deanna. You have given me a lot to consider.
No problem. Thanks for visiting.
The Virginia garden grows plants that America's first people would have introduced to Jamestown settlers. Beans, corn, sweet potatoes, and blueberries are among the plants that settlers would have relied upon during those early critical years. And when we return, we'll share stories about heroes with their own recipes for success. Stay with us. It's been said that a soldier only needs two things, a full belly and a pair of boots. And it's the first of these that's the focus of an event in Fort Lee, Virginia. Members from every branch of the military come together to cook, but it's not a banquet. It's an event that promotes military excellence and readiness training.
This is the 44th annual joint culinary competition held in Fort Lee, Virginia. First and foremost, competition breeds excellence. And that is what our Marines achieved as they went head-to-head against 200 of the top military chefs across the joint force in the international military community. And this was held as one of the largest American Culinary Federation sponsored event held in North America.
My name is Kenny Lazo, and my billet is a platoon sergeant in Lejeune, and right now I'm training the student team for the competition here in Fort Lee. Before the Marine Corps, I didn't know how to cook. So I have learned to be passionate about cooking just because this is where I want to go after the Marine Corps.
Every MOS plays a role in our collective mission accomplishment, and the Marines who faced the challenges in this competition made great strides toward fueling the force, enhancing our force fitness, and improving our readiness.
Fitness and readiness are two products of competition. There were many categories for the chefs to enter, including Master Chef and Student Chef. There was also a challenge for dessert preparation and one for nutrition, where the chefs had to complete a 4-course meal under time and calorie limits. The Army brought their A game to this competition as well.
My name is Kylissia Robertson. I am from St. Louis, Missouri. I am in 2327, no slack. Today, me and my partner, Specialist Shepard, did the nutrition meal. The nutrition category requires for you to have a 4-course meal under 850 calories.
Zaki Shepard, Specialist, 101st HHBN. We had to do a 4-course, which consisted of appetizer, entree, soup or salad, and a dessert.
To make a meal, 4-course meal out of 850 calories is really hard. Me personally, I made the salmon, the Asian crusted salmon with rice noodles and a chicken broth. And I made tangerine and cranberry dressing salad. And my partner Shepard, he made honey garlic shrimp on top of a bed of rice, and then he made strawberry kiwi tart with lemon curd yogurt. To be able to do what we did today, we practiced a lot. We've been on the team since November, so from November to today, we've been practicing the same meal constantly. The hardest part for me, the time. It felt like the time was going past really fast. When we did it in the lab, it seemed like we were more relaxed and we had more time to do things.
The biggest challenge in the meals is having to use the same equipment at the same time. The easiest part was knowing that you had a partner there that can help you out when you're forgetting something or you're just can't find anything.
Our teamwork, the way we move with each other, we have a relationship where we understand, so we know we can do this and still get done with that, and we can help each other out whenever we need each other's help.
You can be very creative when cooking. It makes a lot of people happy. So it's basically two things I like to do: create and make people happy.
Making people happy. That can be a tough mission in the military, especially when it comes to food. For another competitor in Fort Lee, he sees his food service as a responsibility to his mates. The Navy sent their best to the culinary training exercise too.
I started with cooking a couple years before the Navy. Just kind of picked it up off the ground and been rolling ever since. Well, I knew I wanted to join the Navy and I knew I wanted to serve. So when I went into the recruiter's office, they said you could either be a culinary specialist on a submarine or you could be a mechanic on a submarine. And well, the rest is history. So I'm on a USS Jimmy Carter out of Bangor, Washington. It makes for good stories. I like to say that I cook on a one-of-a-kind restaurant that travels the globe. So from my command, we we were made aware that there was an opportunity to come out here to Virginia and to train and then compete. So the nutrition category is designed to be, for lack of better words, nutritious. Nutrition for me is very, very personal, something that I enjoy, and I think to some degree, like, everybody's in charge of their own nutrition. You know, at the end of the day, it's you and how you work it.
They send in the menu or the recipe, see what I ate, then they come here and cook 4 portions, a 4-course meal, 4 portions.
It really ties into your goals, you know, where you want to go. Nutrition is a tool. It's how you employ it on a person-by-person basis. So being able to be in this category and work with nutritious foods and to be able to bring that back to the command, it gives me an opportunity to present them with an opportunity to take care of themselves. I want to be able to bring this back. I want to be able to take this information, what I've learned, and the techniques, and put it to use. Do these things, because especially in submarines, the crew needs it. They need morale. We really are the center of that as a culinary specialist. So to be able to give back to them by learning more, it's fulfilling.
200 culinary specialists tested their skills and learned from the masters. Now they'll take that knowledge back to their duty stations, improving nutrition and morale, thanks to the 44th Annual Joint Culinary Training Exercise at Fort Lee, Virginia. We'll continue Hometown Heroes when we return. Stay with us. Heroes make a difference. And in fact, we can all be heroes. There are so many things that each of us can do to help improve our communities. Reduce air, light, and noise pollution, and think about the consequences of our actions. There is one woman in Virginia Beach whose actions have amazing results. She survived homelessness and domestic violence, and at one point had to rely on her community for food and shelter. Once she regained her independence, she decided to give back to her community.
My name is Officer Carr. I'm a master police officer. I'm assigned to the 4th Precinct, and currently my assignment is I'm a school resource officer at Kempsville Middle. School resource officer, as I explain it to the kids, this is my zone. The school is my zone. The other officers, they drive their zones daily. My zone, I walk it, and I talk to kids, I talk to teachers, I interact with everybody. If a student has a situation that doesn't have to do with crime or safety, they will go to the office and report it at the office. But if there's anything that's criminal and the office finds out about it, then they let me know. So I'm there for crime and safety. They had an opening and I put in for it. I thought it would be a good opportunity to be around kids. I like kids. I have custody of my 3 grandchildren, so I'm in that age bracket. It works out nice because I can relate, and they're my inside info. They can tell me what all the slang means. With that being said, they live in a house with 2 cops, and they don't get away with anything. We see everything, we find everything, and they can't catch a break.
Officer Carr is definitely a positive role model in these children's lives. Her carrying motherly nature combined with being a police officer are very positive interactions.
Yeah, they do worry about me, and especially if there's a threat, and we take every threat seriously. I'm a police officer. I realize people get mad at police officers, and I've gone to many scenes where people are yelling at me, but I understand that they're yelling at my badge. They're yelling at a bad situation that they've been through, or something they felt didn't go their way, and they're yelling at me, at my badge, not at me personally. So I always try to let somebody vent and try to build a rapport, because honestly, I treat everybody like I would want to be treated, like I would want a family member treated, or I would want them to treat my kids. I don't treat anybody bad. I've treated everybody as fair as I could. To be prepared in my job, I do practice shooting, I work out, I kickbox. The biggest thing that I have is the bad guy is younger and stronger, and I'm not as young as the bad guy, so I have to keep up my physical agility. So I do the kickboxing. I know if you look at me, sometimes somebody looks at me like they can take me, but I want to be that surprise. I love my job. I had a very hard life, and I walked in a lot of shoes, and I feel like I learned something from all of that, and this makes sense. I want to do good and help somebody, leave them with something, some kind of hope or some kind of tool to be successful, to get out of what they're in, if that's what they want to do.
Our experiences affect how we live and our outlook on life. It's our choice to respond to circumstances in a positive way. Marie Carr decided to turn horrible events into a better future for her community. For sailors on board the aircraft carrier USS Abraham Lincoln, their community is changing. Recently, CVN 72 departed out of Norfolk Naval Station for a deployment. Upon its return from deployment, the Lincoln will relocate its home to San Diego, California. So from here at the Virginia Living Museum and Newport News, we wish you fair winds and following seas.
This community could not be a better community as far as Navy support, but the ship is excited about getting back to California. That's where its roots are, and that's where we're looking forward to going.